First, I'm going to wash my hands and put my gloves on. Hi, my name is Peyton. I'm going to be the student nurse practitioner doing your neuro exam today. First, I'm going to just note your body position and movements through passive and active range of motion throughout the exam. Next, I'm going to look for any tremors and tics, so I'm going to have you put your hands out for me. I don't know any tremors, and I don't know any tics, or in your face, I'm not noting any fasciculations. Next, I'm going to inspect your muscle size, shape, and if it is symmetrical. So I would look at the shoulders, I would look down the arms, I look at the thighs, and he does have symmetrical, equal in size, muscle tone, and shape. Next, I'm going to move on to your muscle tone and your active or your passive range of motion. So I'm just going to take your arm, I'm going to hold at your wrist and your elbow here. I'm going to move your shoulder in a circular motion, and I'm going to do the same on this side. And I'm going to do the same with your legs. I'm going to hold your ankle, and I'm going to flex and extend your knee, and I'm going to flex and extend your ankle, and same on this side. And I do no resistance and good passive range of motion. Next, I'm going to move on to your upper extremity strength. So we're going to start with your hands out, and I'm going to first have you push against me. I'm going to look at your elbow strength. Good. And I'm going to have next look at your wrist strength. I'm going to have you, don't let me push your hands down. All right. And next I'm going to look at your grip strength. I'm going to have you grab my hands and don't let me pull my hands out. Okay. And next I'm going to look at your thumb opposition. So I'm going to have you put your thumb and your finger together. Don't let me take your thumb off. All right. And lastly, I'm going to look at finger abduction. I'm going to have you spread your hands far apart and don't let me close your fingers together. Okay. And you have equal bilaterally upper extremity strength. So next we'll move on to lower extremity strength. First I'm going to look at your hips. I'm going to have you lift your legs up. I'm going to put my hands under your thighs, and you're going to flex your legs down. All right, and then I'm going to put it on top of your thigh, and you're going to extend your hips and thighs. Okay. And I'm going to look at adduction. I'm going to put my hands between your legs, and I'm going to have you try to bring your hips together. Okay, and then I'm going to look at abduction. I'm going to put my hands on the outside, and I'm going to have you try to bring your legs apart. Okay, next we're going to look at your knees. All right, I'm going to put my leg on your calf, and I'm going to have you flex your knee. Okay, and then I'm going to put it on the outside of your shin and have you extend your knee. Okay, and same on this side. Flex, extend. Okay, and your ankles, I'm going to have you bring your legs out, and I'm going to have you pull your toes to you, and I'm going to have you extend like you're pressing on a pedal. Good. All right, and I do note lower extremity is equal in strength. All right, next we can move on to sensory system. So I'm going to touch you with this. Is going to be sharp, and this will be soft. Do you feel the difference?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to have you close your eyes, and you're going to tell me if you feel soft or sharp touching you.
Hard. Soft. Hard. Soft. Soft. Hard. Soft. Hard.
Good. So your sensory is intact, therefore I don't have to perform a temperature exam on you. If I did, I would take a hot and cold vial and I would rub it along your skin with your eyes closed, and you tell me if it is hot or cold, but your pain sensation is intact. Next we can move on to proprioception. And with this movement, I'm going to grab your big toe, and I'm going to move it in all different directions. And then I'm going to close your eyes and tell me what position your big toe is in.
To the right.
Good.
Towards me.
Good. And on the other side?
Down. To the left.
And proper position is intact. Next, I'm going to move on to vibration. And I'm going to vibrate this tuning fork, and I'm going to press it on your IP joint, and you're going to tell me when you stop feeling the vibration. First, I'll start with your finger.
Now.
Okay. And then the other side.
Now.
Good. And we'll go to your big toe. I'm going to have to take your socks off. And again on your IP joint.
Now.
Again on this IP joint.
Now.
And next we're going to move on to some discriminative sensations. So I'm going to first start with stereognosis. I'm going to close your eyes, and you're going to tell me what object is in your hand.
Ball.
Okay? And on this side, tell me what object is in this hand.
Pencil.
Good. Stereognosis is intact, and next we'll move on to graphothesia. I'm going to close your eyes. I'm going to draw a number in your hand and tell me what I'm drawing.
Number 4. 3.
2.
4.
Next, I would move on to 2-point discrimination, and this is where I would take something that has 2 points, I press it into his skin, and you tell me 2 points, and then I move it closer and closer together until it only feels 1 point, and then I would measure what size that's at. Next, I'm going to move on to point localization. So I'm going to have you close your eyes for me. I'm going to touch somewhere, and you're going to open your eyes and point to where I'm touching. Okay, and then move on to extinction. I'm going to have you close your eyes. I'm going to touch somewhere, and you're going to tell me where I'm touching.
Right forearm. Heart. Left forearm. Left knee. Right calf.
Okay. Next, we're going to move on to deep tendon reflexes. So I'm going to start with your arms. I'm going to have you relax your arms for me. All right, I'm going to feel for your, first we're going to do your brachial tendon. I'm going to feel for it. Next, we're going to brachial radialis. Okay. Next, we're going to move on to the knee jerk. So I'm going to have you try to relax, but also hover your leg. Okay. Next, we move on to ankle jerk. I'm going to hit the Achilles tendon. All right. And now I'm going to have you lay down. Just with your stomach here. I'm going to do your abdominal reflex. I'm just going to draw next coming into your belly button and relax, okay? Okay, and next I'm going to do the plantar. I'll do this one. Bring your knee in for me. And I'm just going to come up from the heel to the toe, and I'm looking for the toes curling down. If the toes were not curling down, then that would be the wrong sign. Just relax. Relax. Okay. Now I can move on to some specialized tests. First, I'm going to perform meningeal. I'm just going to look for neck mobility. Next, I'm going to perform Brobrinsky. I'm just going to relax your legs down. I'm going to flex your neck forward and look for hip and knee flexion. Okay. Next, I'm going to move on to Kernig. I'm going to flex your leg up, bend your knee, and I'm going to bring it in. And I'm just looking for resistance or pain. And if there was resistance or pain, this would be a positive sign. All right, and now I'll have you stand up for me. Lastly, I'm going to look for asterexis. I'm going to have you stand on the wall with your hands against it, and I'm looking for winging of the scapulas.